Alrighty, y'all. We have the LA baby here, blessing indie as fuck. Girl, what makes you indie as fuck, Dazy Lyn?
The fact that I'm just indie as fuck. I'm hella independent. You know, everything that I do comes out of this pocket and this pocket. Like I'm fully self-funded. So
You always kind of had that mindset, I want to say, right? Even
yeah,
before this music stuff, like
yeah.
you having like your own hair business. I don't know. What were you doing before the hair business, actually?
Well, I'm still a hairstylist. So I do music full
Yeah.
time, but I still do hair.
Uh-huh.
And it's actually pretty interesting. Like, I feel like my story is like really unique because when I went to school,
Uh-huh.
I started getting clients while I was in school. So I was even booked while I was a student.
Right.
And, you know, by that time, I was 24 years old and I
Okay.
just knew how the world worked. You provide a service and you charge,
Yeah.
you know? So people would always ask me, "Oh, what salon are you going to go to get, you know, an apprenticeship or woo woo?" And I was like, "I'm cutting the middleman out. I don't need none of that. I just need a
Right.
chair and a mirror." And luckily, you know, my dad was nice enough to let me use his back house, and I started out of there. So for me, my entire life has been very DIY, and it's no different with the music stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My entire approach has just been like, how do I get from point A to point B my way?
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
I love that. Cutting out the middleman. And like before we jump to the next
fuck the
subject,
middleman.
let me put some respect on your name. One of the best curly hair experts, right? In LA,
Yeah,
right?
the
That
one of the first, to be honest.
okay,
Yeah.
sure. See, like,
Yeah.
see, you
When
know,
I
and
first
respect.
started, it was about 7 years ago now. Like, I mean, I've been a hairstylist about 10,
Okay.
11, something like that, but just curly hair, 7.
Okay.
Yeah. And when I first started, I had no competition in LA. I had one guy out in the valley. I don't
Okay.
even know his name, but everyone would come and tell me like, "Oh yeah, there's this guy," but he was like charging like $200 more than I was.
Oh,
So I was like, "Oh, cool," you know.
great.
But girl, they caught up. Like, don't ever sleep or think that you are the only one, because
Right.
bitches is coming.
Right. Right.
Bitches is, and they
Every
came.
day.
There's like
Yes.
30 other curly hair stylists now in LA. And I'm just like,
Wow. Originator though, originator. I'm gonna have
"Mm,
to give you your flowers for that.
thank you.
That's
Thank
super
you."
dope.
Yeah,
That's super
yeah.
dope.
Mhm.
I want to talk about the first time I've ever met you. I
Yeah.
don't know if you remember this, but I met you at 60 East's it was like a ladies' night.
Oh, yes.
A
Yeah.
lady,
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
ladies'
yeah,
night.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
hosting it and you were like
Yeah, yeah,
performing.
yeah.
I think Vel was
Yes,
performing
yes.
too.
No, that night was Reverie.
Oh, Reverie.
Yeah,
Shout out to
yeah,
my girl Reverie.
yeah,
Reverie was performing and at that time I didn't know anything about you. I
yeah.
just like saw your name on a flyer. So
Yeah, you were
60.
hosting.
Yeah, I was
Yeah, yeah.
hosting and then
I
60.
you just reminded me right now because I was like, how did we meet? You know, because
Yes,
I feel
that's
like I've run
literally
into you so many different times.
right.
Yeah.
That was the first one. That was the
Hmm.
first one. But 60 introduced me to you and you were so sweet. You were like, I was like, oh, okay, dope. Like I haven't heard her music before or anything. But girl, when I tell you, when you went on the stage, I will never forget that performance because you commanded the crowd. It's like everything stopped. I feel like everyone stopped immediately to check out your set. I mean, like
Thank
your
you.
aura, your confidence, and since then I've always been a fan.
Thank you so much.
So
Can I tell you
yes,
something?
yes,
That was my first performance ever.
girl, no way, really?
Yeah, yeah. Like it was like dead ass my first. And
That's
yeah,
crazy.
and I went in there and I was just like, okay, like I'm not gonna tell anybody, you know. And
Really?
you know, I prepped crazy with my
Mm-hmm.
DJ K Fresh. Shout out K Fresh. I've known
Okay.
him since middle school. And he was my DJ for the set and we practiced a lot. And I was like, it's crazy because I feel like I get nervous right
Yeah.
before I go up,
Mm-hmm.
and the moment my mouth starts, it like goes away. And I remember you that day because I think I told you this that day.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching you throughout the night and you would like you know, you were doing your thing, being a hostess, and then you'd walk away and like, you know, people were performing and you know, you just kind of be mingling and like, you know, I just kind of saw you walking around.
Yeah.
And I remember when it was my turn, I saw you in the crowd like this. Like yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Like you were in it and you were like, yeah, like you were
Yes.
cheering and I was like, "Oh, she's dope."
Oh,
And that
yay.
memory always stuck with me, you know, because I was like,
Wow.
it made me feel really good, you know,
Aw.
because especially it was my first performance, you
Mhm.
know, so I was like, wow, like that made me feel so special.
That is so awesome because
Thank you.
I'm so happy you saw that. Like we must have been so aligned because
Yeah.
like literally I will always remember that and just seeing your journey now and because I've been a fan since,
you.
but just like seeing you progress, like I thought you've been doing this honestly.
Yeah, no.
Before I did my research, I thought you like been in the game for like 10 years or
I'm
something.
going 3
Like
years.
exactly, which is why I'm just like, what the heck?
Yeah.
You really have like a God talent. And what is
Thank you.
even so crazy about the situation, you did this all sober. You know what I mean? It's and that's like a rare thing to find within the industry, but like your light, your energy, like who you are, you know, I was like, wow. And she's soberly doing it. And that actually really inspired me and wanted to, like, I've dabbled in with like sobriety, but I think this year I'm really going to take that step. But like, I listened to one of your interviews that you've done before, and you were just like, once you became sober, you felt like God's blessings just started pouring into your life.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. I constantly feel that I am like God has made an example out of me throughout my entire life. I think we do that for each other,
Right.
right? So it's not like I'm being singled out here. You know, I think we all have a testimony to share, and it's up to us to realize what that testimony is and to actually share it.
Yeah.
You know, and my struggle was with alcohol. I was fully in it
since 14, right?
yeah,
So
since
you
the
were
age
just
of 14. Yeah.
wow.
Like I'm talking about everyday type shit by myself. Don't need any reason is a reason to just
What was your
turn
drink of
up.
choice?
I mean, when I first started, it was Mickey's
Oh, okay. So you was
some ghetto shit.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
40s.
okay.
Yeah, like it was beer pretty much. Like I was not picky.
Okay.
If I showed up to a party and all they had was Bud Light, I'd be like, "Y'all drinking this water, but okay, give it to me."
Yeah.
Because I was just lit. I was so lit. I was really different. I feel like now I'm very calm. You know, except when I start rapping, I get lit again. But in real life, I'm very calm. I do have my hyper moments, you know, but with that alcohol, I was just so addicted to the way that it made me feel.
Right.
And also how like people perceived me, you know, because it gives you this confidence, right? They call it liquid courage.
Right, life of the party, walking in, but not even realizing
Yeah.
you're embarrassing yourself.
Yeah.
But in your head, like you speak,
Oh
you
my
just
God.
like
Have you seen
yeah.
those like Instagram reels where they're like, oh, this is how you think you look when
Right.
you're drunk? And
Right.
it's so true, you know,
Yes.
because everyone that's on that level sees each other that way. They're like, oh, we're cool, we're having fun, we're lit. And I'm looking at y'all like, oh,
Right.
can't wait to get the fuck out of here.
Right. Definitely changes like the perception when you are sober and you like see, you know,
Yeah.
people in that light when you're not. I know you went to Peru
Yeah.
and you took ayahuasca.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like your beginning start of your sobriety. Tell me about that ayahuasca experience. Like, what did you see? What revelations happened during
Well,
that
actually,
sesh?
this is my second time being sober.
Okay.
So the first time I went sober, I was 24 years old.
Okay.
And that was for a different reason. But this time, you know, I was turning 30.
Okay.
And when I went, the reason why I went was because I was so miserable and I was back with this like suicide ideation that I had when I was younger.
Okay.
And I just didn't understand it because I was like, how? Like, I'm not broke
Right.
anymore. I have my own business. I'm independent. Like, I'm thriving on social media, right? Like, why am I feeling this way again? You know, and I just felt those same feelings from when I was younger. And I was like, yeah, I need help. Like, there's no way I'm continuing because I was literally showing up to work. I know what triggered it. Kind of don't want to say it, you know, but it was a family member that had triggered it,
Okay.
and I spiraled out, you
Okay.
know, and I was just like having a hard time working, just doing anything. And I
Right.
was like, you know what, I'm gonna go. And it found me really. Like, I heard that before, that ayahuasca finds you, and I didn't understand it until it happened to me.
I would have been scared a little bit. You weren't scared at all? Like, did you like
I
do a bunch of
was
research, or did you know someone that done it before that
no,
told you?
no,
Oh,
no, no,
girl,
no.
what?
Here,
And in Peru?
yeah. Here's the thing. I thought that because I've always been spiritual
Yeah.
and I have, you know, certain gifts, like I'm a little psychic, and like I just always felt like I had this strong connection to God,
Yeah.
that I was kind of like special, you know? Like, I
Right.
really thought that I was like, I'll be all right. You know,
Mhm.
like, it'll recognize me. As soon as I get there, it'll recognize me and I'll be
Right.
straight. So I wasn't that scared on my way. I was really like, I got this. Like, I'm a chosen one. You know, like,
Wow.
I had those thoughts. I got whooped my first ceremony.
Oh my
Whooped.
God, tell me about
Humbled.
it. Like,
Humbled.
so how many ceremonies do
Well,
you do? Like,
for this particular retreat, it was a week. So it was
oh,
like Monday through Sunday type shit.
ayahuasca was whipping your ass Monday through Friday or Monday through
Well, it
Sunday?
was 3
Oh,
ceremonies.
shoot. Okay.
Yeah. So it was like we showed up Monday night, rested, then Tuesday night.
Okay.
So when you drink her, you have to drink her when the sun goes down. So it's like 7 p.m.
Is it like
It's a
it's a
tea.
drink. Oh, so
It's
it's
a
a
tea. Yeah, it's a
tea.
tea. Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
they prepare it, you know, and
Okay.
we drink it and we go on all night. And the thing is, it varies how long it's gonna be in your system. So, you know, first ceremony that I had, it lasted maybe 4 to 5 hours. But my
Wow.
second ceremony was a good 15 hours. I was in it. Yeah. But like,
Wow.
the reason why I say I got whooped was because you think you know it all, you
Mhm.
know, until you're put in that position and you enter another realm. I call it the realm of truth, because you are just complete, like, your veil is completely removed.
Wow.
You're stripped of your body.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't have a body here. Where I went to is the place that we all come from. And it's like all darkness,
Mhm.
like, there you can't see anything, but at the same time you see and know everything.
Wow.
And we speak telepathically to one another. There was 20 of us in that room, and we were having telepathic communication between us. Yeah, and
Ah.
like, what I realized was that we were one. There was no difference between me and you. Like, it was really crazy because
Wow.
we're so tied to our individualism
Mhm.
here that we don't consider other people that much. It's all about self. So when I got there, I was just like, oh, wow. Like, it really opened my heart in that sense. But, you know, we're human, so we forget, you know. So I'm
Mhm.
back on my bullshit. And I'm just like, I'm just playing. No, no, no. I do my best to be
Yeah.
considerate, you know, but you do tend to forget. So I do think that, here's what I think, okay? Because before I used to tell, "Oh, everyone should do ayahuasca." I used to always say that, oh, everybody should do it,
Mhm.
you know, but I changed my mind. I don't think that it's for everyone. I think that in the beginning, like in the past, there were villages, right? And then there
Mhm.
were certain people that were considered the wise one or the spirit guide, right? Like
Right.
there was
Yeah.
always your seer. There was
Mhm.
always someone part of that tribe that was like the spiritual advisor, right?
Mhm.
And I feel like those people are there to do that type of work and come back to relay the messages. So
Ah.
I feel like that's kind of what I did in a sense, and I still encourage people to do it because I really think that it like people change, and it helps you deal with all the trauma, all the bullshit that we've gone through. It
Okay.
helps you connect with it in a different way and understand it differently. Like
Okay.
I'm no longer my story. Like I'm no longer always talking about what happened to me when I was younger, what happened to me with my parents, like I used to always just focus on that,
Mhm.
and now it's just like, wait, I understand my parents now. I have um not sympathy and like oh, I feel
Mhm.
bad for you kind of way, but just an understanding.
Mhm.
And I just know that everything happened for a reason. You're supposed to feel these things
Mhm.
so that we can connect with each other more and we have more of an understanding of one another. So I just I don't dwell on that bullshit no more. Like I'm not
Right.
like, "Oh my god, this happened," or and honestly it was all because of ayahuasca. I don't think I could have done it on my own.
Now, were you like a different person after? Did you feel like you were
Yeah.
like still
Fuck yeah.
Daisy? So
I
was it?
felt like
Yeah.
I was my most authentic version of myself
Ah.
because time slowed down,
Yeah.
and inside it was like this deep breath,
Mhm.
and I just existed, and I was fine being whoever I was.
Oh.
Like I didn't have to fit in anymore. You know what really changed too was not always having to say something.
Mhm.
Sometimes I felt like I'd be in groups or even just having a
Yeah.
conversation with someone, and I couldn't stand the silence if we had silent moments,
Mhm.
and I'd fill in, and I'd use fillers, and it's bullshit. A lot of the time it's bullshit, whatever it is that you're filling in, and
Because people are so uncomfortable with silence, you know
yeah,
what I mean? But yeah, I love that. Just speaking whenever you want to speak or whenever you have
yeah.
something to say.
Something to say, yeah, and something of value, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? So I was like, you know what, I'm cool, I'm cool as I am, and it's like, well, if we have a moment of silence, then we have a moment of fucking silence, and
Mhm.
it's fine, and I don't have to constantly be in my head judging myself all the time,
Yeah.
and it's like, if I'm being nice to somebody, what can somebody fucking say about me for real?
Exactly. Exactly.
Like, bitch, I'm nice to you. If
Mhm.
I didn't say anything, I just didn't have nothing to say, but
Right.
I smiled at you.
Yeah. Gave some good vibrations. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
your intentions were good. What
Yeah.
more do you want? And I feel like after that, was it hard, I guess, going back to like your friend group or just,
Oh, yeah.
because you're completely different? They're probably looking at you differently.
Yeah.
Like, how did you kind of deal with that?
It was I've gone through waves since then, because I feel like I came back full of love
Yeah.
and peace, and I was just like floating.
Hmm.
But then again, we're human. So little by little, you start to forget
Yeah.
things that I learned, things that I saw,
Hmm.
things that I felt, start to forget.
Hmm.
And life happens. So, you start to get these negative feelings again. You're fighting. It you don't take ayahuasca and get fixed. You take ayahuasca, you learn, and you put whatever you learn, um like you practice it
Hmm.
throughout life, because life's not going to stop, and it's not going to stop testing you.
Hmm.
So when the tests come, how do you respond to them? So
Yeah.
a lot of that was happening. And when I did get back, I completely had a lifestyle change because I left an alcoholic. I was outside. you know, with my friends and staying up super late, drunk, doing all kinds of stuff. And when I came back, I was like, yeah, it's just I'm not about that anymore,
Wow.
you know. And it was hard because when you're not on that level anymore, you kind of just start to disassociate when you're outside, you know. You're just kind of like, man, like this isn't fulfilling anymore, you know. And then you're having these conversations with drunk people, and like when you're having
Right.
conversations with drunk people, it's
Yes.
like they repeat themselves. It's tiring. I
Uh-huh.
get tired, you know. And I'm just like, or if they start arguing, God forbid, I'm just
Oh
like,
my gosh.
I gotta get
Right.
the fuck up
Because you're
out
not
of
even on
here.
that frequency
Yeah.
anymore. Yeah.
So, you know, I low key started developing a little bit of social anxiety, you
Wow.
know. So I started to isolate, you know. And then you also gotta ask yourself, like, I crossed over a little too much on the other side when I came back. Um, so I was living more in the spirit realm
Mm-hmm.
than here. And it was fucking me up because I was starting to isolate in real life, and I no longer was having this human experience, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's taken me a long time to realize that. It's taken a few years, to be honest. And mix that with feeling hurt by people, feeling
Mm-hmm.
betrayal, feeling rejected.
Right.
um my walls went up. And not so, like, not only am I isolated because of things I think I know, but now I'm like, can't trust anybody, can't trust anybody. I
Wow.
start completely going into a shell. And you know, I'm still battling with all the things from the childhood stuff,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's just this constant battle.
Right.
So as of recently, I've been opening up more
Okay.
to like people, and like reaching back out to like old friends that I feel really ride with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the ones that I just don't feel the love from, I'm sorry. Like you see me doing great shit, right?
Yeah.
And like you can't even fucking tap in, and like you,
Right.
like all you do is look at my stories for
Right.
years. You got me
Mm-hmm.
fucked up. I'm sorry,
We
baby.
was just talking about that. Right.
I'm
So
sorry.
yeah,
But
you
you
ain't no
know,
supporter.
there are some people that have really shown me their love, and I'm like, those are the ones that I want to cherish. Those are the ones that I want to pour into and make time for, and
Yeah.
not be so selfish, you know, because for a long time I just feel like I was just so isolated. Like
Mhm.
I just felt like I didn't belong anymore.
Okay, what are some advice? Because when I did 60 days with no alcohol,
Mhm.
and like what we do, we have to be outside,
Mhm.
like we have to go out, make our connections, or we're working or whatever. But yeah, I felt the same way. Like I felt like I was different. I felt like people were expecting me to be like people would come up to me like legit, like, is everything okay? And I'm like, I'm just my normal self, and then that would make me feel even more
Oh,
worse because I'm like,
girl.
dang, like I'm, not the
Well,
person I am. It was conflicting a little bit.
well, let me tell you something. Okay, we're gonna rewind a little bit. Remember, I come from being the life of the party,
Hmm.
right? Everybody knew I was gonna be outside, like
Lick and fly
like
too, lick
yeah.
and fly outside, lick and fly.
Actually, during high school, I wouldn't really say that because I
Girl,
was
you were
broke as
prom
shit.
queen. You were
No,
prom queen.
I was prom queen, but I was broke as shit with no swag. I'm
Okay,
telling you,
okay,
like
okay.
I had to make it work with what I had,
Uh-huh.
but I was not happy. I would look in the mirror like, oh, why I'm so whack.
Uh,
Like like I'd be like, why am I not rich? Like
yeah.
I want to, you know, I want better shoes. I
Mm.
want, you know, but my personality really was what did it for me, I think, because I was friends with everybody,
Yeah.
every single group in high school. I was friends with all of them, you know. But uh point is, when I would go out, like it would be with different high schools, you know, people would know, oh, I'm gonna be
Mhm.
at a party in South Central,
Mhm.
just lit. And I developed this reputation. Okay. And when I became sober the first time, when I was 24 years old, like I told you, I would show up to places and just like you, I felt weird. I was like, damn, I feel out of place. I'm kind of quiet.
Like, who am I?
Yeah. People would come and ask me if everything was okay, right? And I would show up and I'd see other girls being the life of the party and I start hating. And I'd be like, bitch, like if you only knew who I've been, right? Like you start to get mad, because they're calling you quiet and I'm not fucking quiet.
Right.
And like
Daisy being a party pooper.
Yeah. And I'd be like, man, I'll run circles around your ass. Like it was like I felt really defensive. I felt really like ashamed of who I was, right? Like just feeling very quiet. And it took years to realize that that's who I am.
Wow.
It wasn't like whoever that person was with the liquor, that wasn't me.
Yeah.
And it took time to accept myself. It took at least 3 years, I want to say, to like be able to go outside and have normal conversations.
Because when I see you outside, before I even knew that you were sober, like you have such a powerful light. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, like you would never know, you still operate, I feel like you still the life of the party, so soberly, yes.
I mean, that's nice that you say that, but I think it happened gradually, to be honest, because when I'm in new spaces, it's not that I'm shy. I'm just to myself a little observant. Like I also don't like to insert myself and force myself into something. I like organic. Gotcha. So if I see a way in and I feel the energy's right, okay, they're gonna get a certain uh version of me.
Yeah.
But if I see they're a little, like not wanting to take in new people, then I have to kind of work my way in.
Gotcha.
So you just read the room.
Gotcha.
And like a lot of the times, like in the beginning, like I'll kind of just go to places by myself, and little by little I started to get to know more people, so it kind of feels a little bit like high school. Because when I got to high school, I didn't know anybody. I knew maybe six to 10 people, and it took some time, but I respect that, just like with doing interviews and stuff. Like this is how I get to know whoever's behind the camera. This is how we build the relationship. It takes time. So if you see my interviews from the beginning to even now, if you compare it, it's gonna be different because we're taking time.
Right.
It's like maybe in the beginning I was a little more like nervous or like cautious, because sometimes I say some dumb shit. Maybe the older version of me. Now I'm a little different, but I was always cautious, trying to make sure I wasn't saying some dumb shit.
Gotcha. So now it's just we're getting like the full raw version of you, Dazy Lyn, and I feel like the reason why your music career, again, you've only been doing this for like 3 or 4 years. I feel like the reason why your music career is taking off the way that it is right now is because like you're living in your most authentic truth. You know what I mean? Like you're going in like every single day.
And those are the blessings that we've talked about.
Right.
God blesses
space.
God blesses effort. God blesses authenticity. I just, you know what the promise I made to God is, because I feel like we put so much pressure on ourselves.
Yeah.
As long as I wake up and I keep my home clean, like that's what I'm doing that day. Like that's my accomplishment for the day. If I do anything extra, then that's just extra credit. But I just tell God, like as long as I show up and shower and keep my space clean and like try to pick up things as I go, because what I've realized is when I start to leave things out of place and I ignore it, it piles up, and then it's a shit show, and then I'm depressed.
Oh my gosh, it's almost like, I mean, even the way that you just said it right now, it's almost like when your outside space starts getting chaotic, you know what's internally happening within
I mean, it's a
yourself.
reflection.
It's a reflection,
it's a
yeah.
direct reflection of what's going on inside.
Wow.
So that's my promise to God. I'm
Mm.
like, if I didn't do shit today, God, at least I kept my area clean.
Right.
At least I kept myself clean, because sometimes that's all you can fucking do.
Preach.
You know?
Right.
But I mean, I can't sit still, you know? So there are days, where I rest, but luckily, I have people calling me. I meet up
Yeah.
with people. I'm in the studio. I'm doing hair. I'm always working on creative projects.
Yeah.
That's something that, like, that's my drive. I love to see a project come to life. Like, that's my favorite,
And I love how hands-on you are with all your projects. Like, I see you like doing like your edits, like you're finding out your outfits. Like, you're so personable with your Instagram. So I always feel like I know you, or I'm there. I'm seeing like the project come to life. Like, especially when you did the VIP.
Oh
out in Miami. So I remember you getting your fits together, your hair, and all of that stuff.
I pulled up on Santisi in Miami. Shout out Santisi, that's my boy. I pulled up out there. He was like, "Hey, we gotta shoot a video in Miami," and I was like, "Yo, I'm in." I flew out there. I was shopping, and like I had a great time. Like, all of that, I live for that. Like sometimes I had this thought. It was like 2 years ago, and I was driving, and it was like 2 a.m. and I started thinking about people that I see on Instagram, right? They're posting, with their families, their husband, their kids, and it's like a family picture, and I don't have none of that. You know what I'm saying? So I live a very
no
different,
siblings either.
No siblings
So
either.
it's just you.
Yeah, like I have a very different lifestyle, and I'm alone a lot. Even though I'm around a lot of people, I'm alone.
But you have Curly, your parrot, or is he a parrot? Or no, what kind of bird is Curly?
Yeah, she's a golden cat parakeet.
Okay, I love Curly.
She's gorgeous. She's cute. But she's a handful. Like, what is so funny about that is we have a total of 7 animals.
Oh my goodness.
3 dogs, 4 cats, 2 birds.
Love it.
Ask anybody in that house who is the worst. Like, who is like, ask them who's the one. And everybody, Curly.
Curly.
Like they Curly? You don't even have Curly? You don't even have to finish the sentence. Curly. Like, we all take turns kicking it with Curly because we can't handle her. Like, that bitch is crazy. I'll literally, because I live in the back house, right? So like I'll literally be asleep, my eyes open, they're open for 3 seconds, and then Curly and I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, bitch, how do you know? And she will not stop until I get up and go and get her.
Oh my goodness.
It's a piercing. Like, that sound
God's
pierces,
like, wake up.
That sound pierces my soul. Like, you don't understand. Like, I love her so much, but I did not know what I was getting into. Like,
I love
having a bird is just not having that kind of bird. The loud ones, because I have another bird. She's quiet. She's peaceful. She is the representation of peace. But that like I'll bring her, and I'm like, do you see her? and I'm like, damn, I'm giving her trauma. Like, like with your cousins, like, your cousin don't do that.
See, your cousin, is quiet over there, not waking people up in the crack of dawn.
Yeah, no, but she's intense. Okay, like
Shout out Curly.
So what I was saying was, when I was driving, I was just like, I can't imagine my life any other way. Like, I was born for this shit. Like, I love this shit. I love this mic, the camera, the performance I'm about to do, putting videos together, edit. Like, I live for that shit. I love it. I don't have nothing else to do.
Right.
You know, when I wake up, that's all I think about.
You know what? That's same. I think it's just there's creatives out here, like, and that's what I have to realize, because I felt like I was just like I'm not focused. I don't even know if I want kids right now. I'm just like I'm so focused on just like the hustle, the journey, you know, it's so exciting, like every single day. But yeah, no, I feel you and I relate to that, because I'm like, there's nothing in the world that I want to do other than being
What
here
you're doing
right now, talking to you on this couch at
and
the
I'm very
LRG
proud of you.
headquarters.
I'm very proud of
Thank
you.
you, girl.
Yeah,
Thank
because
you.
you know, as you said, I've been watching you for what, 2-3 years now.
Yes.
You know, and I see you elevating
Thank
and
you.
just constantly putting in work. I see your model pictures
Thank
too.
you,
I
girl.
think that is a very good look for you. You know, so I'm pretty sure you gon' find opportunities
Thank you, girl.
in more things than just doing this.
I
You know?
received that. Thank you so much. No, it's just good to just see like women like us, you know, especially independently doing it, and indie as fuck being out here and just putting in the work. But let's hop into the music. Like,
let's do it.
I've seen you the last couple of weeks, maybe months, with Day One. You've been in a studio. I've seen you at Dre's studio. Tell me about that.
Well, Day I've known for a while.
Shout out Day.
Yeah,
He's
Day.
Cool.
I love you, bro.
Day, you awesome as fuck.
Sick. So like I've known him for some time, and we actually linked up for the first time and worked on a song.
Okay.
I think it was a few months ago, last year. And it was my first time working with him, and we didn't link up again after that, but you know, we stayed in contact through DMs. And it was like a few weeks ago he reached out, you know, and he was like, hey, I want you on this project that we're doing with Demiza. And it was just so weird to me how everything was aligning, because I had just had a conversation with the homie Ratchet maybe a month before. And me and Ratchet were talking, and he was like, hey, you know, you need to get on Demiza's radar.
Oh,
you know,
shoot.
He's doing a lot of things for new artists, you know, and like, I know he'd fuck with you, you know, you just got to get on his radar. And I'm like, all right, bet, I'll figure it out. And like I told you, everything I do is very organically. I don't really like to push myself on people. I don't really like to ask for favors in that kind of way, you know, like, it's like, if it happens, cool. I rather it, because you know what I've learned is when you force things, they break.
Right.
Every single time I've forced my way into something, something bad happens, you know? So it's like, if it didn't fall on my lap, it wasn't for me.
Because you know it's from God. Like, at this point, like, you're just so much in flow. Like, what are the odds of that? Is this gonna be well, this is for his project, right?
Yeah, this is for Day One's and Demiza's project.
Okay.
So Day One hit me up and was like, hey, you know, I need you on a song. You know, we were talking about a female rapper, and I immediately thought of you, and I'm like, fuck yeah. Get me in there. I want to eat, you know? And he sent me the song. I wrote to it like within that week, and I hit him up like, yo, you know, I'm ready to lay it down. And what's fucking crazy to me is, for New Year's, I was at a DJ Quik show. And mind you, the last like 6 years, I've been at home for New Year's.
Okay.
Depressed.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm feeling like I'm alone. Like, nobody loves me. Another year, fucking celebrating New Year's, nobody to kiss. You know what I mean? Like, all this dumb shit, right? And like, this year I was like, fuck that, I ain't doing it. I don't care if nobody goes with me. I'm going to the Quik show, because it kept coming out on my Instagram. It was like, Quik show, Quik show, Quik show. And I would look at it, scroll, you know, 30 minutes later, boom, pop up, open it, check how much it was, get out. And then finally, like, I think the day before New Year's, I got the ticket. So I end up going, and I was going by myself. A homie ended up going with me. but I was front row and I'm fucking rapping back and forth with Quik, with High C.
Shit.
It was the
Ah.
dopest, one of the dopest moments of my life, because when I tell you my music has been a sibling to me, I
Mm.
mean it with all my heart. I spent so much time with music growing up,
Yeah.
and there were songs that he was doing that brought back so many memories where I used to sing it from the bottom of my heart, right?
Yes.
And like I was like, pass me the mic. Like I was
Yeah.
like, I know this shit, right? And like it's funny because we had a moment, you know, where Quik was like, all right, I'll see you, you know, because like I'm literally going word for word, right? And I had the greatest night ever. I go
Aw.
home, I get on my Instagram, and on the stories, I'm like, if y'all know Quik, go ahead, let him know that that was me.
Yeah.
You know, woo woo, right? I'm just playing, you know, I'm just being goofy. And maybe 2 weeks after that is when I pulled up on Day and Quik was in the studio.
Oh my gosh. Did he remember you
Yeah.
too?
Okay, so I asked them after,
Yeah.
you know, the session was over and he was leaving, you know, I had a moment to chop it
Yeah.
up with him. And I told him, I was like, oh, it was me,
Yeah.
right? And he was like, girl, I was so shroomed out and high and woo woo. He's like, I don't remember none of it, you know?
Comedy as fuck.
And yeah, and I was like, oh, you know,
Right.
like, and I was like, okay, it's fine, you know, I remember.
Yeah.
You
That
know?
seems like a dope experience for
Yeah,
sure.
so you know, it was just full circle moments, full circle moments. That's all my life has been for the last 5, 6 years. You know, it's just like, wow.
So 2025 is about to be full of so many full circle moments. Especially if that was the beginning, like that is like a sign.
There is something about this year.
Ooh, tell me about
I
it.
feel it.
You feel it? Okay.
Oh, I feel it. I feel it.
Feel it for you too.
Thank you.
Yes.
I receive it.
Give that to you.
I feel it within myself. I feel like energetically something switched. You know, I'm just ready to be committed to myself.
Yes.
I think that for a long time I've been chasing something
Okay.
that's outside of me.
Mm-hmm.
And when you are doing that, you become dependent on the outside to like your feelings become dependent on what's outside around you,
Yeah.
the people, how people are treating you, or you know, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't feel that way anymore at all. Like I'm taking control of my feelings and I'm saying I'm gonna have a good day today. Like when I was driving over here, I was bumping my music, singing, and it was pouring. And like, let me tell you, I drive pretty fast. Like people that know me, they know that I'm a good driver, really good driver. Cautious. I drive for others, but bitch, I'm not staying in this lane just cruising. Like no, I gotta go. You know.
Yeah.
Today I was cruising because it's raining.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna be dangerous. You know,
and good vibes. Good
and like
spirit.
yeah, and I was just like, you know what, like. I'm gonna get there when I get there, and I'm gonna get there safe, and I'm gonna get there in a good mood, and you know, like I just
hey,
you
and
know,
we feel that too. We feel that as soon as you walked in. I was like, Daisy's here.
Thank you.
So you're gonna be giving a Treehouse live sesh performance here at the LRG headquarters, and you're gonna be doing your new single.
Yes.
Did it drop yet?
Not yet.
Oh, so we get an exclusive. Okay, how blessed are we? We got a new single, Babyface.
Yeah,
tell me about this.
So Babyface is the first single that I'm dropping off of my first album.
Do you have a name for the album yet?
I actually don't.
Okay.
I have an idea, you know, but I don't want to say it just yet, just in case I don't go with it.
Gotcha.
But I have an idea.
Okay.
And it's dropping soon. I'm hoping by April.
Okay.
But time just be moving so damn fast. Like now I understand when I used to see people talking about, oh, my album's coming, my album's gonna be months. I get it now.
Yeah.
I get it. Like this shit really does take time, and then time just flies, and it's not it does not wait for you, you know? So but anyway, Babyface. the reason why I love this song so much is because last year I was going through like a moment of heartbreak,
Okay.
right? And I'm very familiar with
Mhm.
heartbreak. Like that's something that it's a feeling I've had throughout my life for different reasons,
Okay.
right? And as I get older, I start to realize what my patterns are, and I start to also realize um, what my tools are to bring myself out of hell.
Gotcha.
Because I always find my way back to hell, and then I get myself out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So during this time, well, throughout this whole time, right, this album that I've been doing,
Yeah.
like I've gone through so many different waves of emotions, right? So one of them was the heartbreak thing. And then there was this, like, I was sad for a while. Like I remember, my producer and engineer, Franco, he saw me go through a lot of it, so I
Gotcha.
would show up and just kind of like tell him what I was going through. And when I wrote this song, I was still in this place of sadness, but for some reason, I felt hope. And when I wrote it, I was writing it from a perspective of like what I wish for, what I would like.
Mhm.
It wasn't like I was describing something that I had, even though it sounds like I am. I didn't actually have it. I was just like, what would it feel like? Like, what would real love feel like? What does it look like to
Yeah.
me? And when I was writing it, I had a smile the whole time, and I was just like, yeah, even though I was sad as shit, I was sad as shit, and I used that as an outlet.
Oh wow.
And what I'm realizing now is that energy, it doesn't go away, right? So it transfers. So it's, if you're feeling negative emotions, they stay within you unless you find a way to let them out, and that's through working out,
Wow. Right.
or talking about it, or in my case writing a song. And that's what I've been doing,
Okay.
for the last like year and a half. That's kind of
Maybe
the
that's why I
route.
feel it in your music. Like
Thank
I
you.
feel that I just feel a certain energy when I do hear your music. So
Thank you.
I'm excited to check out, or we're about to see, the live performance right now.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
I wore the pink outfit because I saw that the setup was green. I
Uh-huh.
feel like green and pink are so cute together.
Yes.
Tomorrow is also Valentine's Day, so I wanted to come a little girly,
Yes.
because normally I don't
Uh-huh.
do girly all the, like, this is more like of a club kind of
Mhm.
feel vibe. And I was like, I'm doing that. Yeah.
Yes, we're so excited. Thank you so much, Daisy, for pulling up on India's Fuck, girl. Like, again, like, homegirls for life.
Yes.
Like, just love sharing this journey with you and us both growing. And I just can't wait to see, especially this 2025 for us.
Ah, yeah, girl. Let's go. Let's go.
Yes.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
babe. Yeah. Hell
Daisy.
yeah.
Alrighty. Peace, y'all.